Here. Oh, there we go. Now I'm live. Okay. Scary Stories here, and got some things I want to talk about today. I'll wait for more people to get here. Let me minimize this window real quick. Pull up my chat. I don't know if I can afford to have another YouTube window open. Still active. Oh, hopefully closing that YouTube window didn't just ruin that. God, my throat's messing with me. Shit. Oof. Might need to grab my cellular device for this. Oh, there I am. Okay. I'll want to turn the volume down. That'd be really weird. Accidentally streaming my own volume from the same device. Okay, I got one person watching. I know I have a few of you that are loyal, so I'm gonna wait to get into the details. And actually, if you could comment whether the audio sounds okay, if it's breaking up, if you can hear me just fine. I guess I could listen to it myself, actually. I could just turn the volume up. It's breaking up. You can hear me just fine. Oh, hey, Brett. Welcome. Oh, it sounds all right to me. Probably sounded terrible in the chat. Okay. So it might be a little laggy. I have pretty terrible connection right now, and I'm running a couple devices, so which like my phone's connected, and I'm not even using it. It's sitting in the room, but that's so far away. But so my purpose of this video today is, obviously, you notice it says live stream number 6, not weekly live stream. Because I'm not going to lie to myself anymore. I mean, as much as I want to put out a live stream every week, other things get in the way, and I'm doing pretty good too. I'm switching jobs currently, so I'm starting a new job tomorrow, which is both good and bad. I was making pretty good money at my last job. I actually made $3,000 just this last month, which is good for me. I'm kind of, lower middle class. But no, so I'm just going to talk about some of the stuff going on in my life that's preventing me from actually getting content to you guys, why I didn't publish Tales of a Rural Police Officer number 5 or 6, whichever it was, and when I'm going to upload again, some of the things I have coming up in the future, just some stuff that, like, I mean, really, just some things. Some of the stuff I'm going to go over today are more personal, but I feel like to my, my loyal viewer base, I mean, you guys deserve to know. I mean, just what I'm going through, and I mean, I don't expect to always have you guys here. I don't expect to keep any sort of fan base or friendships, being as inconsistent as I am. But I do have my reasons. I don't want to, since I initially moved, what was it, about 10 months ago, it's just been downhill. I haven't been able to keep up with my channel. It just seemed like excuse after excuse. That's not really the case. It's not really just excuses. I mean, there have definitely been instances where, I mean, it's not hard to edit a video for like 30 minutes and upload it. That's not difficult. My real problem is I can only focus on one thing at a time. Like, there for a minute I was writing, and that's all I could focus on was writing and reading. And my work started to suffer, and my channel was still suffering. And then I focused on work for like 2 or 3 months, and I made a lot of money. But my channel, my writing, my reading, everything suffered other than work, my home life. As you all know, I'm in a relationship. I've been in one since I was 18, so 3 years now. And sometimes I get so caught up in what I'm doing, whether it be this, that, or the other, that I really ignore those things. And I have motivational problems. Um, I don't know. I'm almost kind of depressive, I guess. Because, well, actually, here, I'll just start by telling you the story of why I'm switching jobs. That's a good place to start. So, I live in Missouri, the southern portion. We just had a string of storms hit here in Oklahoma, and I mean, well, everybody's had storms, in the Midwest here recently. But we had a string of storms come through, and I missed work because of that. I missed 1 or 2 days because of that. And once I kind of fall off of the horse, once I can be doing amazing, have perfect attendance, but if I miss 1 or 2 days, it just goes downhill from there, because then I let my anxiety get to me, and I don't, I'm like, oh, I can't go in tomorrow, because they'll just be like, oh, why were you gone these last 2 days? I just hate the confrontation. So long story short, what started as a couple days because of a storm turned into a whole 2 weeks. During that time, I wanted to work on my channel, but I felt like such a piece of shit just from, I wasn't going to work. I'm not making money. I'm not going to be able to pay my rent on time this month, which, I'm going to get it paid. I just hate to not be on time. So, that's the main reason recently I haven't uploaded. I have my stories recorded. I'm actually waiting on Mr. Haunted for one of my videos that I'm going to do. He's going to help me with that. If any of you have heard of him, he's doing pretty well right now. But I'm just waiting on him to send me his audio recording. But I do plan on getting one up in the next couple of days. It's probably just going to be one story. It was like 12 minutes long, so I figured that's an ample amount of time. But I've had that recorded for like a week and a half, and I just haven't sat down to edit it, which kind of have a good reason there. I edit on one computer and I record on the other, and my other computer is it's hooked up to the same TV as my Xbox, and so it's kind of a pain in the ass to switch it over to PC from my HDMI, because I'm usually kind of being a piece of shit and just watching TV or playing video games. But yeah, so why I've been so absent. It's not necessarily like, sometimes it's because of sickness, or because I'm super busy, and then I have periods like these last couple of weeks where I just had like motivational loss, and there's been periods where I battled with different forms of substance abuse, and I don't know, I just wanted to get these things off my chest. But moving forward, I don't want to, like, that's not, these are things that I struggle with, and I'll definitely continue to struggle with them, but that's not who I am. I just wanted to get that out there. Like, that's why this channel has been so inconsistent. But yeah, and it's good that you're doing good, Brett. Hey, J. Ray. Need a sword. Well, destroy a tree. Yeah, that's something I used to do whenever I was in high school. I had really bad anger problems. But I wasn't with like a sword. I'd just go out there and punch the damn thing, Minecraft style. It didn't fall down like it did in Minecraft, though. But no, so that used to be, I didn't have a punching bag, so I kind of treated trees and shit like that like they were a punching bag. But yeah, no, I think, and that's my biggest problem, is like sometimes I stress over things that I shouldn't, and it gets to me, and like I'm not one to go to a doctor or try like antidepressants or anything like that. First of all, I don't have insurance. I'm not gonna add medical bills to the thousands of dollars of debt that I already have. So that's one of the biggest things there. And then I don't know. I guess I don't talk to people enough about it. I don't get it off my chest. I just let it bottle up and build. And so that's why I wanted to do this video, because it gives me a chance to vent while also reaching out to you guys and letting you know, yeah, I'm still here. I'm not dead or anything. I'm just another human, and in lots of ways my life is scarier than any of the stories that I read, just in a different way. But that being said, I have kind of shifted direction here. Okay, is that better now? Oh yeah, it's actually should work now then. Okay. I think pause that play. Yep, there we go. Okay. So it was Hangouts. Problem with Hangouts. Okay. Alrighty then. Yes, I'm back. So yeah, there's an overabundance of let's not meet stories, and I think that's where I left off. But yeah, um, oh no, we were talking about weight. That's what it was. Yeah, I was saying that I've recently gained quite a bit of weight with this last job I was working at, because it's a phone, like a sales based job over the phones. So I've gained quite a bit of weight. Well, not quite a bit. It was like maybe 30, 40 pounds. I mean, it's enough to, look in the mirror and dream of yesteryear. But starting tomorrow, I'm going to be an automotive technician again. Just going to get back into the auto industry. It's going to be a lot less pay to start out, but I mean, there's a lot more opportunity for growth. And I don't know, like I can do physical labor and it doesn't exhaust my mind. Whereas if if I'm in a sales-based job, I don't want to do anything when I get home. Oh, wow! Congrats on that. That's quite a transformation. I was more along the lines of I was maybe, I think before I started working at CST again, which you can just strike that name from the recording there. Before I started working at the call center again, um, I weighed about 185, 190, and currently I'm well over 200. I don't know exactly, but last time I checked, it was like 215. So I know I've probably gained a little bit since then. I've always been kind of a little bit pudgy, unless, I really have to like be super active for my metabolism to, you know, I've had periods of time where I weighed like 160, 165 and, looked like just a walking set of abs. But that's not me currently. I've got quite a bit of flab on top of those abs. But no, so I just kind of wanted to talk about mental health a little bit because that's something I've been struggling with. Is I don't want to be like one of those channels that's like, oh, ooh, I'm quitting because of my mental health. Um, I did think about it though. I actually was gonna just give up on my channel because I was like, well, if I can't even upload regularly, I don't even have the same viewer base I used to have. Why even keep going? Just rip that band-aid off. But I've decided I'm gonna stick through it. I'm not gonna set too high of expectations. I'm just gonna upload when I can, and just try to stay in the community. Um, and preferably, I'd like to more so help other channels more than my own. I'll probably be in, have other narrators on my channel just to get them a little bit of recognition, as well as be on some other channels. And then I just kind of like to pop into the chat of different live streams of like Let's Read and Mr. Haunted. And that's mainly what's kept me going, is just, the few of you that tune in every time, and the people in the community that have always been there for me. So that's why I didn't just hang in the hat. And another thing, my voice, as you probably noticed, changes from video to video. I had periods where it was really gruff because I had where I was like losing my voice really bad for a period of time, as well as there was also periods of time where I was trying to make it deeper. I was trying to make it sound better, but I'm trying to go with more of a natural sound now. Just me. I just want to be me. That's what this is about. YouTube, you broadcast yourself, not somebody else. But yeah, so if I sound a little bit different in newer recordings, just know that it's me trying to not, which it's hard. I'll sit down to record and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is scary stories, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? My voice is not that deep. I'm not Corpse Husband, you know, just, but that's what my voice wants to do. And then there's other times where I'll try to do like a Mr. Nightmare voice, or I'll try to do like a Darkness Prevails sort of voice. And one I can't do. I cannot do. I can't go anywhere near Let's Read's voice. His voice is very unique. I also can't do Hell Freezers because I can't do Scottish, Irish, whatever his nationality is. Um, but yeah, so I fall asleep listening to other horror narrators all the time and end up mimicking them subconsciously. So I'm trying to steer clear of that. Most of your weight gain was from your chemotherapy meds. Huh. I didn't know those caused weight gain. I've always heard of, you know, like people losing weight due to their chemotherapy. Wouldn't change anything. Well, I'm glad you're a survivor, Brett. Um, I don't even know what my voice is now. Well, this is pretty much my normal voice right here. Um, it cracks a lot, goes in and out of different octaves, and I have to clear my throat a lot. But yeah, I'm proud of you, Brett. Um, I haven't had to fight that fight myself or go through it with anybody super close to my heart, but I've known people like throughout school and just in my little community that have gone through it, and I know it's tough. Oh yeah, steroid, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I remember um, along it was probably about 6 years back. I had a neighbor when I was still living with my mom. Um, that she was kind of a heavy set woman, and she started going through chemotherapy, and she lost like she lost a lot of weight very quickly. But I guess it's probably just because of that's probably more so because of the radiation, not because of the steroid. Um, because I heard that it makes you really sick, and again I haven't experienced it myself, but I mean I've seen it in like movies and just read articles about it. It's pretty crazy. And I personally, I mean, the only thing I've really got wrong with me is I've got eczema on my feet. It's freaking terrible. I've had it since I was a baby. So, I'll wake up in the middle of the night scratching my feet into a bloody pulp. So that's always great. And then I have asthma. So, nothing too serious. But with that, I have a steroid. Maybe that's why I'm always so hungry. The steroids in my inhaler. Tell the doctor he made me fat. But no, I eat way too much, and my metabolism's definitely not keeping up these days. Wow, I've actually maintained 3 viewers for quite a while. Welcome, whoever you are, third viewer. you don't have to you don't have to comment, but just know that you're welcome. Oh, I scared them away. um, and I currently don't have anything to read. Although, really, with the live streams, I just kind of want it to be more of a talking thing, anyways. It's more of like a, kind of like why I made the group chat thing, just to keep you guys informed. Oh, that's something I forgot to mention. So, I believe it was a month and a half, 2 months ago, somewhere within that time frame, I was supposed to upload Tales number 5, which I did record it. It is on my Patreon, um, but I I recorded it, listened to it. It sounded god awful. Um, it sounded god awful. Um, I didn't like my voice in the recording. I hate how, like, don't get me wrong, the author, he's a good author. He just sometimes he has too many run-on sentences, and it's hard for me to, really do anything with it without editing. And he's part of this writers guild, so it makes it really hard for me to get around that. So I have to practically read it as it is, and it just sounded like complete and utter garbage. So I left it alone. This isn't an attack on him. He's a great author, but maybe he rushed through that particular story and a couple of the ones that I would have been recording after that. I went back and read through until the end of the series, and I just decided that, if you guys want to, see the rest of the story, you'll just have to go to Reddit. And I mean, you can find them in the no sleep section. Just look up Unlucky Kentucky, or look up Tales of a Rural Police Officer. Um, but I just decided I didn't want to do that anymore, because that's all that my channel has been for the last so many videos, other than my live streams. I wanted to break free from that and be able to do different genres, and so I just cut it off right there. I didn't want to re-record it, because I spent hours recording it, because I would do a take, and then I'd find something I didn't like, or there'd be something in the background that would affect it. And so I'd restart and restart, and then the end product was still crap, and I was still trying to do these other voices that weren't me. And I was like, nope, I'm done with that. So I took a little bit of time off while I was working my butt off, and then during my lazy period, and I tried to find myself a little bit better. I'm using my Blue Snowball again. That makes a huge difference. I was using a Turtle Beach mic, and it's terrible. Um, how's my old man doing? He's doing all right. Um, they told him not to go back to work. He was supposed to go on disability, but there's a long wait time with that. And so he went back to work, which it definitely isn't the best thing for him. I mean, there's nothing I can really do, though. I tried to talk him out of it, tried to, offer a helping hand. I mean, I have my own struggles, though. I mean, I wouldn't have really been able to help him much, even with my extra work. But yeah, he went back to work, and I mean, for the most part, he seems to be doing all right. Just the field, he works as like a parts puller at a salvage yard, and so he's around carcinogens, and just not the ideal job for somebody who has congestive heart failure. And I mean, and also with the with it being summer now, it's definitely not ideal, because it's mainly outdoors, and even when he's in like the garage portion, it's mainly kept cool by a fan. So he could definitely be doing better, but I'm thankful that whenever he had his heart attack, that he didn't die. And I hope that it doesn't get worse. But I mean, he's in recent, because I only see him, every so often. Um, Unfortunately, I see my mom a lot more. But my dad actually lives closer to me, but we're both, we have completely opposite schedules, and very busy. Both of us are. But the past couple times that I've seen him, he seemed a lot more lively. So that's good, because my dad's kind of always had this light to him, if you know what I mean. Like he's just got this light in his eyes. He jokes around a lot, and he's funny. And I mean, that dude can. I mean, he can work from sun up to sundown and then keep working. uh, he's the he's the guy that I aspired to be when I was younger. But there was a period of time where it was like he wasn't that guy anymore. Like he couldn't be that guy anymore. So I'm hopeful. I mean, he's kind of he's someone you definitely don't want to go out into public with. I'll say that because with him being such a funny guy and how lively he is, he's one of those parents that he likes to embarrass you in public and embarrass everybody around you. So like he's the type of guy that will ask like asinine questions to like fast food workers and retail associates and stuff like that, and just make everybody feel awkward. But to him, it's just it's just fun. uh, or he'll be in the middle of the store and he tells you to pull his finger or something, and then he's like, "Oh well, never mind, I already did it." So yeah, kind of a vulgar sense of humor, but that's dad's for you. Yeah, he's a pretty awesome dad. He always for as much time as he works, because he usually he has a full-time job, um, and he also has like side jobs he does. He works on his own vehicles, works on mine whenever like if it's something that I can't do by myself. Like this guy's always working, and actually, my car, I had some serious shit go on with it around the same time that he had his heart attack, and I just kind of let it go. I'm still driving it, but it's most people wouldn't be driving it. But I got to get to from point A to point B, and I just can't rely on him to. I don't want to make him. Well, it wouldn't be making him, but I don't want him working on my vehicle. I'd rather him supervise and I work on it myself. But I just haven't had the time. I've had the money a few times. I've blown it. I'm not good at saving. I'm not good at being wise with my money. Um, I mean, I don't even know where like probably a fourth of the money I've made the past year is even went to like useless junk food and wasted on like conveniently sized bottles of soda and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, so that's another thing that's been affecting me is my piece of shit car. Oh yeah, it's quite the horror story. It one of my motor mounts, the bushings completely ate away, and I have a really bad exhaust leak, and my cats are clogged, so it lurches really bad. It's terrible. I could fix it. I mean, it's not going to be hard to fix. It's really not so bad that it's not drivable. It could affect other things eventually, but as of right now, I feel like it's not too big of a deal. I only drive it from point A to point B, and I'm not hot rodding it or anything. If it wasn't a piece of shit, I probably would be, kind of a speed demon. Uh, but man, I don't even. I knew there's something else I was going to cover today, but um, oh, I got the girlfriend a new computer. Well, she got it herself, but um, I helped her pick it out. So it'll be a lot easier for me to actually upload now, I think, because before, um, she was actually doing my thumbnails and stuff on the same computer, so I needed her art software. But now I can delete that from my computer and actually have my editing software that I have on my desktop on this as well. So it's been complicated. I'll have to record on this computer because just because of the location. I can move it anywhere, so I can record in whatever room I want, and then I'll put it on a flash drive, put it on the other computer, and make the video, and then switch it back to this computer so that I can upload it because I can't connect my desktop to my Wi-Fi hotspot. So it's quite the process. And then I'll tell myself, oh, I'm going to do that today, but 9 times out of 10, I don't want to dig out the mouse and the keyboard for my desktop and boot it up, and it's just time consuming. So that's one of the reasons that I've been kind of lacking. But I mean, other than that, other than all the depressing shit that I've talked about in this stream, life's pretty good. um, I definitely get bogged down, and I have been letting life get to me. But overall, I'm pretty thankful. Um, I've been buying a lot more food lately, like actual food, not just junk food, because I could actually afford better food. So that's been nice. And I've been playing a lot of video games because I don't know, they just seem to go hand in hand, depression and video games. Yes, food is great. Um, Anybody like to play video games? God, I sound like a dad or something. You like their video games? Anybody like their video games? Yeah, I'm not a voice actor, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, I've been mainly secret recipe for a homebody, video games and food. That's a secret recipe for some body odor. Because you give me a bag of Doritos, some Mountain Dew, and what is poutine? Poutine? You're a gamer. What's your preferred console? Oh, and also that's another thing. I just recently bought an Xbox One again because quit I quit using next gen for a minute, and um, just because of I needed to focus more on work and the channel, and so I just completely gave up on gaming. I actually used to have a Twitch channel that I reached affiliate status, which I can actually provide the link to that because I'm probably going to restart my Twitch eventually once I get a better handle on the YouTube. Because I was planning on doing my weekly live stream as a gaming stream, but the problem with that is you have to do like 50 million fucking steps to be able to stream to YouTube with an Xbox One. It's just way too difficult. It'll either have to wait till I have a PS4, or I'll just live stream live stream to Twitch and just send everybody over there. Fries, gravy, and cheese curds. Oh, that does look pretty good. Wow. Damn it! Now I'm hungry. I just ate before the stream. I had a whole pizza that you bake in the oven. Oh, does yours look like any of these pictures I'm seeing here? Oh, you're still rocking a 360. Hey, I hear you there, Brett. I just recently upgraded from my 360. I mean, there's nothing wrong with 360, and I'm actually even still playing some 360 games. I have BioShock and BioShock 2 sitting in front of me right here, and because I've always neglected to play them, and they happen to be backwards compatible, so I figured why not. Um, I just recently played the Stick of Truth again. And then I think and GTA 4. I've been playing GTA 4 because I've always kind of liked the older GTA games. GTA 5 is awesome, but the older GTA games are or where it's at. My favorite, obviously, being San Andreas. That's the one that was like the first one I ever actually played. Yeah, that stuff looks pretty good. I'd actually never heard of that. I looked at it and I was like, man, did he try to put pudding and just spell it wrong? And I was like, so I just took the benefit of the doubt and just pronounced it how I saw it there. But yeah, no, I'm looking at the recipe right now. And I'm like, man, I might have to do that. Go get the ingredients. It's Canadian, eh? Canadian, eh? Hey, friend, buddy. Fire on Borderlands 2 and Diablo 3. Um, I love the Elder Scrolls series. Borderlands, I played the first one. I think I even beat it actually, and I was really into that when it first came out. I never played Borderlands 2 though. Diablo 3, I didn't get very far on. I had it on PS3 at one point, um, but it wasn't bad. Um, Canadian, eh? I like how whenever I think of Canadian accents, I always go straight to the South Park Canadian accent. They're like very aggressive. I don't know. The accents they use on South Park aren't even. It's not even Canadian. It's like they use Canadian words, but it doesn't sound Canadian. It just sounds very aggressive. I guess it kind of reminds me of those guys on that one show. It's on Hulu. I forget what it's called. They're kind of fast talkers, so it could be semi accurate. And then, damn it! Now all I can think about is food. And what am I gonna do for dinner tonight? I kind of thought, I was like, oh, I'm done eating today. I'm gonna try to go to bed earlier tonight because I'm actually gonna be waking up way earlier than I usually do. But I still have a couple hours before bed. I'm gonna need to eat again. I'll probably end up making like stroganoff or something. Oh yeah, Letterkenny. You knew what I was talking about. I don't know why the heck I couldn't think of the name. I actually haven't really seen that show, but I've seen like a lot of the commercials and started to watch the first episode. Uh, I don't know. It gives off kind of like a party vibe. So the girlfriend doesn't really like it. Um, she loves it's always sunny in Philadelphia though. So I mean, really, they're kind of within the same sort of genre. But we've yet to watch it. I plan on watching it though. It looks funny, and I've heard everybody on my friends list on Facebook really likes it. So it may be worth a shot. Yeah, that's pretty much mostly what I've been watching. Like I recently re-got my Netflix, and I'm still just watching Hulu. So I'm probably just gonna cancel that before it charges my card after the 30 days. I really, other than there's like a couple scary movies on Netflix that like that's pretty much what they're good for is they're like Netflix original scary movies, and then there's a select few shows which one of the shows that I watch on Netflix is also on Hulu, and then which is Parks and Rec, that's on both, and then Stranger Things I watched and then kind of got tired of, and I just prefer Castle Rock over Stranger Things. I mean, I think I'm more of a Hulu person these days. And then I had HBO Now for a short period of time, and I never watched Game of Thrones. I used it for. No, that was on Stars. When did I have HBO Now? I know I had it. Oh yeah, I used it just to watch a couple movies that were on there. Not those kind of movies. No, nothing like that. But no, like Game of Thrones is another thing that like everybody's freaking out about, but I still haven't even watched it. Although I hear everybody was really pissed off about the ending, so. Um, but yeah, I haven't even watched it. And that's also partially because of the girlfriend. She doesn't want to. I guess he doesn't want to watch uh, incest porn, I guess. That's a one way it's been described. Movie Affliction, very Canadian language. Is it on like a streaming service, or would I just have to like scour the dark web for that? Here, I'll look it up. Actually, well, no, I better not. My audio is working fine. I better not use the internet at all. I wonder if my air conditioner can be heard in the back. I'm literally sitting like 2 feet from an air conditioner because I'm a sweaty pig, and I was hoping that it wouldn't be like overpowering the sound of the AC. I bet every time I'm quiet, it's just like it's really loud. Affliction. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget it because I hardly ever go back and look through our live chat, so I have to write that down. But yeah, I was planning on I was planning on streaming like video games like pretty much stuff that didn't require much like more like the indie style games and stuff like that, so that I could talk talk while playing. Stuff that didn't really require my full attention. But I looked up Affliction. It looks like it actually has pretty good reviews, so that's good. That's one of the first things we always do is just make sure the reviews are good. But yeah, no, I wanted to live stream to YouTube with games and then just talk over them because I'd be doing exactly what I'm doing now, but instead of having my my profile picture there just sitting in the center of the screen, there'd actually be something to watch. Canadian Vampire. I like Canada, Canada. Um, I was actually I remember in high school, that was that was like the plan. I was gonna get a Subaru and live in Canada. It never happened, obviously. Still in Missouri, and I mean, once you get out into the workforce, it's just hard to get away. That's the one thing I do like about me getting back into the automotive industry. Is like just think about how many like different places you can get your oil changed or your tires changed or like get an alignment, like just within every city. There's like so many. I mean, well, I live in a fairly big city, so we have like 30 different places. But I mean, there's going to be places where that's not a thing. But I mean, really, any big city, I got my work cut out for me. Or not really any big city, but any moderate sized city, like 50K to like a couple 100K. You'd watch me game. I do have my Twitch channel. I'm planning on revamping that. I used to use a camera with my PlayStation, but I don't know. I'm kind of gonna phase that out and just stream with my voice until I can afford to buy a new camera because I want to get a good camera. I want it to run like at least 1080p, none of that 720 crap. um, but I do plan on streaming to my Twitch again eventually. And I was gonna try to like merge the two, like instead of like change the name of my Twitch so they're both the same. But it caused a lot of confusion. But I'm already an affiliate on that, so I can actually make revenue from like bits and stuff like that. So I don't want to just start a new one because I may not hit affiliate status again. But at the same time, I don't want to just like change the name over and then like people come back and they're like, "What? That's not the same guy." But I'll probably just keep them both separate. But then let everybody know about both. Actually, I can. Me. Is it Twitch.tv? Is that what it is? Not Twitch.com. I think it's Twitch.tv. And then I think I think it's the same as my username, should be. So I think that should be the link. Oh, it won't even, it's not even clickable. Never mind. I think that's it though. So that's the gaming channel, which I I gave up on whenever I started my YouTube, because I was like set on I was gonna make this channel something, like this is what I wanted to do. It still is. I still really want to make something out of this channel. Um, I mean, I've already reached heights that I never thought I would. I had a goal set at 50 subs, and I crushed that. I was super happy with that. I got to work with Swamp Dweller. I actually have had conversations with Let's Read multiple times. I got to work with Mortis Media, and dude, that guy is super nice. Same with Let's Read. They're both probably the two nicest horror narrators that you can find, especially given their the size of their channels. Um, and then I mean, so I've really been successful. I just haven't been successful in the way of money. I mean, I do have a couple donations, monthly, but I mean that's really not what I care about, anyways. I really care more about outreach and just being part of the community and being a big part of the community. Something that makes me feel like everything I'm doing is worthwhile. I don't really care so much about the money aspect. If I really cared about money, I wouldn't have just quit the job I was just working at. I was making over 20 an hour. It's the same place I used to work whenever I'd work part time, and I actually had a bunch of time to spend on my channel. But getting back on part time it was too much of a hassle, because they wanted me on full time, because I'm one of the top producers, and I just couldn't get hired on part time, and I needed the job at the time, so did full time. And I mean, it definitely beat 12-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week at a factory. So, but now I can get back into the auto industry, and hopefully everything will start turning around. Because I've just been having like landslide after landslide, and it's I mean, I got like some past due loans, and missed a payment on my title loan, and but I'm actually gonna pay off most of my debt this next tax season. So only about 8 months to go. Yeah, I actually checked out Dead Man Talking Forest to Fear, that one day you told me about him. Yeah, I watched a couple of his videos. He's definitely pretty cool. I think I subbed to him as well. Um, I don't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in my sub list. I pretty much sub to every horror narrator that I find, um, just so it pops up in my feed, and then I'll occasionally watch other narrators, and I like to get an idea of what they're doing, like visually. Um, Although now it doesn't really matter so much. Used to, I would I'd try to better my editing, because let's face it, I took a multimedia class in high school, but I slept through it. So, I didn't learn a damn thing. I didn't grow up with a computer. Like, I didn't have my first computer until I was 18. So I'm not good at video editing. I'm kind of like a grandpa, or like a monkey on a keyboard when it comes to, like editing and uploading, and like it takes me forever. Like, you guys do not understand how long it takes me to upload a video. Like, I guarantee you, any other horror narrator out there probably gets it done twice as fast as I do, if not more. But that being said, I was trying to better myself, and that's why you see a lot more editing, and some of my videos that I made. Some of it was terrible. I'll admit. I was trying different techniques, and just kind of seeing what different channels did, and I did notice some things, like Mr. Nightmare always uses like a vignette filter. Um, Darkness Prevails pretty much just takes a stock footage and puts overlays on it, and I figured out how to do that. So I was pretty proud of myself with that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I pretty much just watch every channel out there, and I'm kind of, I'm kind of like a creeper. I don't really comment most of the time. If it's a smaller channel, I do try to, be like, oh, hey, good job, I haven't recently though, so I feel like kind of a dick for that. But I usually, tell people they're doing a good job on like Instagram and stuff. So, but I mean, I'm still a fair, I'm a pretty small channel. I'm at like 170, I think. Yeah, 170 something. Um, so I'm not a huge channel by any means, but whenever I first started, if somebody had told me that I'd hit 170 as fast as I did, I wouldn't have believed them. Um, Granted, it stagnated once I hit that because of, a couple months off here, a couple months off there, you know. But that's just life. If you don't have the time to put into YouTube, you're not going to be one of those 10K plus channels. And I'm just not one of those channels. Although, I mean, if I could, if I got to plug like Corpse Husband or or Mr. Creepypasta or something like that, maybe my channel would take off. I did notice that. Here's this is one of my things. Mr. Haunted's one of my favorite narrators. We're actually kind of friends, but some of the things that he does kind of annoys me. And one of the things that I picked up on, and I kind of called him out on it. But he got a shout out from Mr. Creepypasta, which was awesome. It really helped his channel, which I mean his channel was further along than mine anyways. He was already at like 1.5K, but since that he's reached over 10K. Not all of that's because of Mr. Creepypasta, but that initial push helped set it in motion. Just kind of like how the initial push from Swamp Dweller helped me get up to 100 subs pretty quick. But and then he turned around and he's like, oh, well, it's cool that Mr. Creepypasta gives shout outs weekly. So he started doing that, which is cool. It's cool to shout out smaller channels, but that's not what he was doing. He just would go through his feed every day, and when Mr. Creepypasta would post and say, oh, hey, check out this person, Mr. Haunted said that same person and posted it right after every time. And most of these channels were quite a bit bigger than Mr. Haunted was. And it's like, dude, I know people in the community that are smaller than you and that could actually benefit. I mean, I will admit that, a small amount of that's like, hey, man, why aren't you shouting me out? But, that's water under the bridge. I don't really care about it for my own personal needs. But I do know of, at least 10 other horror narrators that are like 100 or below. And they could have used that. Granted, they may not have been in, part of the community as long as some of the other narrators, but I just feel there's not really any need to shout out a channel that's larger than your own. Help out the little guy. But yeah, so that's the only thing that he ever did that kind of annoyed me. Because I commented on one of them and I was like, dude, you're just shouting out everybody that Mr. Creepypasta does. I mean, because I could think of a few. There's like, actually, I'd have to look through my Instagram, but damn, I don't have my phone on me. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of small channels. I saw this one. What was his name? Oh yeah, Mr. Terror. Oh yeah, Night Terror. But yeah, Mr. Terror is one that I saw. He posted on Instagram and was talking about he got a lot of like hate comments because of his name, the name of his channel, and they were like accusing him of being like a Mr. Haunted, Mr. Nightmare, Mr. Creepypasta, blah blah blah, copycat because he used Mr. in his name. It's like, come on. I mean, at this point, we're practically all copycats. I mean, if you're not the original horror narrator, you're kind of a copycat. I mean, sure, we all put our own touch on it. We're all different. We all add our own particular flavor, but none of us is technically original. Our content is not in any way original. We read stuff that people post on Reddit or submit to us. It's not stuff that we write ourselves, which, I mean, sometimes it is. I wrote my paranormal experience and read that. And I know of other narrators that have done personal experiences. Mr. Nightmare is one of them, even. But I mean, for the most part, we're not original. So to attack somebody in the community for not being original or for being less original than one of those other narrators is just kind of mean. And I felt bad for the guy because, like, I had no negative comments when I first started, and that made it, easier for me. I'd run into negativity on Twitch, but I never really ran into negativity on YouTube. I think the only negativity I really got was a downvote once or twice. So, I mean, other than that, most everybody I've come across has been really nice people. So, I mean, I thank you guys for that. And I feel bad for, smaller channels than me that are already feeling that negativity. Because, I mean, there's plenty of it on YouTube. I mean, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, there's negativity everywhere. And, I mean, it's just if you don't reach your target audience, you reach other people, there's gonna be some negativity. People are like, what the fuck did I just even watch? Kill yourself or something like that. It's just terrible. But anyways, geez, how long has this been? Has this been, wow. Are we approaching an hour? Oh, we're over an hour. I think this is my first ever live stream that's actually reached an hour in length. Well, there's a milestone. There we go. That's the word. It's a milestone. So we've hit a channel milestone. So I know people aren't going to go back and rewatch this. But yeah, so I'm probably going to wrap it up shortly. Anybody have any questions or any concerns or demands? Or, I mean, since I haven't really been bringing this up, before I do let everybody go, I'm going to go ahead and share my email, which obviously Brett knows it. But I'm going to share my email in the chat here. Social justice warriors, yeah. Mixture of social justice warriors and trolls. I mean, there's going to be a lot of hate flying around, I'll admit, though, there was a time when I kind of trolled people on the internet. But yeah, so I was just going to say is I'm going to share my email here so that if anybody has any stories they want to share with me, I mean, of any genre, I need stories of any genre, really. I mean, even if you don't think it's, like, necessarily scary, not every story that I come across is scary. I just need stories. I prefer, like, medium length, and I would prefer, like with Brett's, a few of his I've kind of edited a tiny bit, just because he kind of has issues typing it out on his phone. So, like, if you in the email provide me consent to, say, edit it if needed, I'm not gonna, like, change the story, but I may just, like, tidy it up a little bit. But yeah, so scarystoriesofficial@gmail. That's where you can send your submissions. You can always send them there, or if you like to use Reddit, the story's already on Reddit, something like that. You can always message me on Reddit or go to the Scary Stories Official subreddit, and you can submit it there. Which I actually created that because Let's Read was always pushing his subreddit. So I was like, man, every horror narrator needs a subreddit. So I created it, and it's gotten no. I think it got one. It had one person actually submit a story to it. So I was amazed at that. But other than that, it's been pretty dead. I don't even post to it anymore. I used to post my videos, in the off chance that somebody would subscribe to it, they'd see it. But then I decided it's just a waste of time. But yeah, so I'm just gonna leave that there. Did I even spell official right? Yeah, it looks right. Kind of looks wrong, but I think it's right. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that there and just kind of let the clock tick down for a minute. But yeah, I think it's probably a good stopping point. I definitely talked a lot more than I usually do, and I covered a lot more meaningful information. And so yeah, I mean, I'll probably I'll probably re-download the editing software that I used to use on this laptop and try to get that video uploaded within the week. I'm not gonna try to do multiple per week, and I'm not gonna try to guarantee one a week. But I'm gonna try to do a little bit better. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember you mentioning that. That would be helpful. It's really hard to find paranormal stories, and I'm not sure if any of you guys read the paranormal subreddit, but it is really hard to find a good story. Like, there's good scenarios and stuff. Like, I could write my own story, and I could make a fictional story based off of some of the scenarios that people put forth. But in terms of like actually good stories, I mean, I search for hours and then come up empty-handed, and then I see other horror narrators that somehow have a video with like 5 or 10, and it's like, how do they do that? Where do they find the stories? Some of them get submissions, but I know Let's Read does all of his through Reddit, and I know he has people help him. He typically doesn't look for stories himself, which, I mean, lucky him. He has somebody that will actually do that. I actually was doing that for him for a while, um, and that's how I actually got him to be in my 100 subscriber special and everything. And Mr. Haunted was kind of jealous of that because he had asked him, and he couldn't be in his video. But yeah, that was probably one of the biggest achievements I've ever had in this channel. But yeah, I used to help him with that, and I have enough trouble finding my own stories. Like, I just get tired of reading. I get frustrated. I throw my phone, break it over my knee. So, I mean, and yeah, if you also, you guys don't even have to submit your own stories to me. If you do like to read Reddit, obviously let me know in your message that it's not your story, and to contact the author, to ask them to use their story. But I mean, if you come across a story that's really good and you want to send it my way, I will, I'll definitely look at any stories that are sent my way. And then if it's somebody else's story, I'll obtain their permission if possible. I mean, that would just be a big help to the channel. But I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Thanks, Brett, for coming by. Thanks, J Ray. And thank you, you couple creepers in the background there. Everybody have a good night, and hopefully I'll be doing one of these shortly. Bye now.